where I stay. My name is Annie Sophia Drew Harper. Now, to be completely accurate, my name is actually Annie Sophia Drew Price Harper because I was married before. Now, my first husband, George Price, we married right after the war between the states, and he was a captain of a tugboat named the Joe B. Davidson. But like many good captains, he went down with this ship. So he left me a widow with a small baby, and I just didn't know what I was going to do. But before long, another gentleman came a-calling, and his name was Captain James T. Harper. And one thing led to another, and before long, well, we got married, and we had 5 children. So altogether, I had 6 children. I had 3 boys and 3 girls. I had Jesse, he's from my first husband. He actually ended up staying here in Smithville and became a captain himself. And then I had Robbie and Charles, he became a doctor. And then I had my daughters. I had Lily Bell and Mary Rebecca and Annie Kay. And they all grew up to be fine, upstanding citizens. Now, most of them, though, moved to Wilmington for the opportunities. But my husband, Captain Harper, now he had several businesses here in Smithville and up in Wilmington, but his most interesting business he had with his brother. They both owned steamships, and they would go up and down the Cape Fear River and take people up and down there. Now that was important because back then our roads were terrible. I mean, you'd hardly call them roads. And to get from here to Wilmington by road would take you at least 10 hours, and they were most unpleasant hours. But you could also go by our steamship, and it would only take 3 hours, and it would be very comfortable. You could sit and talk to your neighbors and look at the scenery and maybe have a little sip of tea or something, and anyway, then you'd be there. So people really liked the steamships. It was nice. So we spent more and more time in Wilmington, but we'd always come back to Smithville for the salubrious breezes. I'm sure you all enjoy those. Well, then when I was 69, I passed away. I had stomach cancer, and my husband put me on his ship one last time and brought me down to Cape Fear so that I could rest here in Smithville where my heart had always been. And a few years later, when my husband passed, why, his brother put him on his steamship and brought him down and put him right here beside me. So we're very blessed to be here for eternity. Now, I noticed a few of you looking at my flag. Are you curious about it? Would you like to know a little more about my flag? What this is, now, will you tell me, does anybody recognize this flag? Anybody know what it is? You do? What is it?
It's the first flag. It's Betsy Ross.
Oh, that's a good guess, and it's kind of like that.
It's a Confederate flag.
It's the Confederates. It's the first Confederate flag. It's like Betsy Ross, only for the Confederacy. And actually, the first one had 7 stars, and then a couple months later, they made one with 9 stars. And then this one, I'm partial to, because it's got 11 stars, because North Carolina was the 11th state to secede from the Union, so it's included in this one. Now, this is called the Stars and Bars. Now, I don't know, y'all familiar with the United States flag? It's called the Stars and Stripes. So this is the Stars and Bars. And at first they were real happy with it. They thought it was nice. But now the flags, they'd take them into battle. And the generals could kind of watch the battles going on, and they'd have their flags flying, and that's how they'd know who was who. But if you can imagine, if this one's flapping in the wind like that, and then you got the Stars and Stripes flapping, it was kind of hard to tell who was on which side. So then they changed it up. And are you all familiar with another Confederate flag that's kind of red in the back and has some blue cross? That's actually the battle flag, right, of Virginia, of Robert E. Lee. But that one kind of got to be popular, so what they did is they put that one up here in the corner, just in the corner, where the blue part is. And then they made the rest of this all white. And that looked very dashing, it really looked nice. But if you can imagine, if you're in battle, and there's like an all-white flag, waving in the breeze. That wasn't very good. It didn't really rally the troops. So so then towards the end of the war, they changed it again, and they added a red bar down this way. So it was white, but it had that red bar like it had been dipped in blood. But they didn't make too many of those because by then we just didn't have a lot of money for flags. Well, the reason I have this flag is it reminds me of the proudest day of my life. And that was when I was 17 years old, right at the start of the war between the states. And we had a guard, the Smithville Guard, because you know, every county would raise their own troops and send them into battle. And so the ladies of Smithville decided they'd make a flag for the troops. And they asked me to give it to them. So I was very honored, and they asked me to give a little speech and to present them with the flag. So my daddy helped me write the speech, and I delivered it. Now, we did that over, are y'all familiar with the Fort Johnston? We called it Fort Pender during the war, but we had the men were all lined up there, all in their uniforms, looking so handsome, young, and nervous too. And then I got up there, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit of the speech if you don't mind, just the ending of it. Okay, I'll tell you what I said. So they're all lined up there, standing at attention, and I'm just 17 years old and a frail little thing. And this is what I said. I said, gentlemen, the women of Brunswick put their lives and their honor in your keeping. Come back to us as conquerors, and we will line your brows with laurels. But if the numbers should overpower you, then fall with your faces toward the foe, and we will cherish your memories like household words. We will bedeck your graves with flowers, and we will water them with our tears. Your graves will become pilgrim shrines, and our matrons will bring their children there and tell them the stories of your glorious deeds, so that they may learn how brave men died. And now I present this flag to you for your keeping. Well, now don't you think they were comforted? I do. So I'd like to say one more thing, and that's that, you know, I meant the words that I said that day, and I do think it's important to remember those who've gone before and those who sacrificed for us. So would you enjoy your day today? I'm so glad you're here to meet all these people that used to live in Smithville, that as you walk around, remember that there are men buried here who fought in the Confederacy, and there are men buried here who fought in the Revolutionary War and fought for your freedom and your country. So as you walk among them, don't be afraid to whisper a few words of thank you. I know they'd appreciate it. So you have a good afternoon. God bless you.